Today's detail is the inside and outside of this Toyota Camry. The final result turned out fabulous, but it wasn't without some drama along the way. The biggest concern with the interior was the sheer amount of dust that had made its way in. It's obvious the vehicle spends a lot of time on gravel roads, so I'll make sure it gets a thorough vacuuming. The trunk was also extremely dirty, but this had a different culprit. There's some spilled fertilizer that needs to be removed. This stuff can really do some damage and cause some terrible smells if it's exposed to moisture, so I'm going to tear apart this trunk to make sure every granule is removed. While I have a minute, in my last video I had a quote from one of the most well-known movies of all time, The Wizard of Oz. The quote was first pointed out by @BriannaKiggins5883. Let's see if you can catch the quote in today's video. If you do, let me know your answer in the comments below. Winston wanted to help out a little bit with the detail and get his face on camera as well. As I finish vacuuming, I pull out the tornado to show just how much dust works its way down into the fibers. It's extremely important to remove as much dust as possible before attempting any type of wet cleaning, or you're just going to make a bigger mess than you started with. These seats were a combination of vinyl and fabric. I made sure to extract the fabric because with this much dust, I just knew they were going to be filthy, and with the brown solution the extractor removed, I was right. With the fabrics extracted, it was time to clean the various parts of trim in the vehicle. There was a ton of dust to remove, but the trim wasn't as satisfying for me to clean as usual, because with the amount of dust covering everything, my express cleaner just didn't foam up as much as it usually does. When I say the dust got everywhere, I mean it got everywhere. I made sure to use these long Q-tips to clean out the vents. You can see the amount of dirt and dust that had accumulated inside these things. This is often an overlooked part of any detail. With the interior complete, I'm moving to the outside. I know, I usually start on the exterior, and with a problem I encounter a little later, I wish I would have, but the owner had only asked for an interior, but I just couldn't help myself because I knew this red paint was going to be incredible once cleaned and protected. So since I had time, I decided to get this cleaned up as well. After a good pre-rinse, I'm going to work on these tires. I'm going to use some super clean diluted 1-to-1 and then some P&S Brake Buster, also diluted 1-to-1 from a spray bottle and foamer. These chemicals along with various brushes are going to leave them looking like new. Now I'm going to spray some P&S Bug Off on the grille and side mirrors. Then I'm going to cover the Bug Off with Adam's Mega Foam to give it some extra dwell time. As I start spraying this side, you might notice the passenger side window doesn't look like it's rolled all the way up, and you'd be right. Unfortunately for me, I didn't realize that yet. It was at this point I knew I had messed up. As I started cleaning this up, I said to myself, sometimes a detailer just has to face the music. And that detailer is you, Scrapper. Going around now, rinsing off the foam, hitting the tight areas with my detail brush, but with the drama that happened earlier, threw off my concentration and I wasn't able to, or I forgot to actually record the contact wash part. Gonna give this carpet from the trunk a real thorough cleaning with the pressure washer. If you remember earlier in the detail, there was some fertilizer granules that were spilled all over this. So I want to make sure all remnants of that are completely removed because that can cause some serious bad smells later on. I'm also going to clean the WeatherTech floor mat from the front of the vehicle. These things are kind of a pain to clean. That's why I'll pull out my toothbrush and really scrub the finer areas, the lines in the floor mat. I also watched a video recently from Jamie the Cleaner, who's got some great content. Go over and watch some of his stuff. That I'm going to use some Koch Chemi products, some gummy fix, that will leave these things looking brand new. So I'm going to pick some of that up sometime in the near future. Now with the mishap earlier, I've got to go in and reapply some of my 303 aerospace protectant to the trim in the vehicle. Having gotten the paint completely cleaned, I'm going to apply some Brio's 3-in-1 ceramic wax that's going to leave the paint smooth as silk and protected for up to 6 months. This Camry now looks spectacular. Don't forget to follow me on my other social media. I've also linked my nastiest details ever on the left side of the screen. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, keep it clean.